support our veterans organizations that will help our veterans get every damn thing that they deserve because they signed on the dotted line to keep us safe.
It's okay. I sat through the entire 5-hour or so confirmation, so you don't have to. And I'm going to share with you all the important highlights. But I just want to say this. Before this ridiculous, ugly political theater took place, I was 100% on board because the mandate, we voted for our president and J.D. Vance on November 5th, and they support Pete Hegseth 1 billion%. So the will of the people, the American people, we won, have spoken. But as I heard these hippocrats, aka Democrats, open their gaping swamp vermin mouths today and start criticizing Pete Hegseth, a decorated Princeton graduate veteran who sacrificed his life, while these scum elitist academics have not worked a single real job their entire life, are criticizing him in front of the entire world. Can you imagine how bad this makes America look? It's bad enough that they destroyed our brand, as Kevin O'Leary likes to say all the time, in the last 4 dark years. But today is just another example of how much they hate America. Could you imagine what Xi Jinping of China, Vladimir Putin, the Ayatollahs, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, can you imagine? And all our other adversaries, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, could you imagine what they're thinking? This is how they treat somebody who sacrificed his life for his country, somebody who the American people, because we won, actually voted for?
As President Trump also told me, we've repeatedly placed people atop the Pentagon with supposedly the right credentials, whether they are retired generals, academics, or defense contractor executives. And where has it gotten us? He believes, and I humbly agree, that it's time to give someone with dust on his boots the helm. A change agent, someone with no vested interest in certain companies or specific programs or approved narratives. Many of my generation, I've been there. I've led troops in combat. I've been on patrol for days. I've pulled a trigger down range, heard bullets whiz by, flex-cuffed insurgents, called in close air support, led medevacs, dodged IEDs, pulled out dead bodies, and knelt before a battlefield cross. This is not academic for me. This is my life.
He pretty much carried himself like that the entire time, especially when being berated. Check out this clip of Diet Tampon Tim Kaine, who is just a failed, miserable, heathen loser. When he ran with Hillary Clinton, he actually has the gall to mention Hegseth's children.
Completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared? How is that a complete clear?
Senator, her child's name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth, and she's a child of God, and she's 7 years old.
And she was, and you cheated on the mother of that child less than 2 months after that daughter was born, didn't you?
Those were false charges.
Well,
it was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared.
Hey, Tim Kaine, you remember this guy right here? Yeah, this guy used the Oval Office as his own private little head shop with Monica Lewinsky, but you still supported him. And why did you run with Hillary Clinton? If you're so opposed to cheating and infidelity, why did you run with Hillary Clinton? Did you use the same exact criteria when you judged and criticized Pete Hegseth as you did with them? I doubt it. And by the way, there's this new invention called a comb. Ever heard of it? You might want to just, look at this. He looks like an Oompa Loompa. What's the matter with you, Tim? You can't even come to a nationally, internationally televised event like this and just groom yourself with some semblance of decency? Have you no decency, Senator Kaine? When I tell you that the hypocrisy knows no bounds, my fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens, watch this clip right here. I know it's going to be, I'm just going to give you a warning. It's super cringe. It's going to make your stomach turn. So if you've had something to eat already, or maybe you just had lunch, fast forward this because it's going to make you hurl.
Hey folks, Tim Kaine here.
Second gentleman, Doug Mhof here.
We are in Annandale, Virginia, where the Biden-Harris campaign just opened the first coordinated campaign office in Virginia.
And we are going to, win this election. Senator Kaine is going to go back to the Senate, and we're all going to do this thing together.
You had just fathered a child 2 months before by a woman that was not your wife. I am shocked that you would stand here and say you're completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared? How is that a complete clear?
Her child's name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth, and she's a child of God, and she's 7 years old.
And she was, and you cheated on the mother of that child less than 2 months after that daughter was born, didn't you?
By the way, I know what you're thinking right now. If you want to leave this video, I wouldn't even blame you, but I've got something coming up that's going to absolutely just make it all worthwhile. I promise you. Markwayne Mullin goes to town on these Hippocrats. It's absolutely amazing. So stick around. I promise you it will be worth it. I put everything on it. It will be worth it. Stick around. But check this out first. This makes me so sad. I mean, this Senator, Mazie Hirono, Hawaii, what are you thinking about? Mahalo, all the true blue American-loving Hawaiians that are out there. But what are you thinking electing this repulsive? She sounds drunk. Listen, she starts talking about Pete Hegseth being a drunk. Watch this. She herself. Tell me she doesn't sound drunk right now.
By enforcing the Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ, in addition to the sexual assault allegations, and by the way, the answer to my second question should have been yes. I have read multiple reports of your regularly being drunk at work, including by people who worked with you at Fox News. Do you know that being drunk at work is prohibited for service members under the UCMJ?
Senator, those
Yes
are
or no?
multiple false anonymous reports peddled by NBC
Do you
News
know that
run directly
drinking on the job
contradictory
is
to the dozens of men and women at
not
Fox News
contemplated
Channel who I work with
I'm
who
not
came
hearing
on
the
the
answer to my
record.
questions. Would you use our military to take over Greenland or an ally of Denmark?
Senator, one of the things that President Trump is so good at is never strategically tipping his hand. And so I would never in this public forum give one way or another direct what orders the president would give me in any context.
That sounds to me that you would contemplate carrying out such an order to basically invade Greenland and take over the Panama Canal.
Smug, condescending, elitist, haven't worked a real job a day in their life. Academics. These are the people I've worked with. I don't just call myself professor for kicks and giggles. I know these people. They are absolute scum of the earth. They are devoid of any spinal cord, no backbone, no guts, no real feeling, emotion, no passion, lifeless. They are the administration in every single evil villain movie you can imagine. They're the same people. Remember when you were a kid hanging out with your friend, there was always that one mom that sucked the entire life, creativity, imagination out of the room just because she didn't like to hear children having fun? That's who these people are. That's exactly what they are. They are the absolute scum of the earth. They are the antithesis to anything great, to anything good, to anything clean, fun, energetic, full of vivaciousness. They are a complete rebuke to talent. They are the epitome of mediocrity. Let's get to the good stuff. First of all, this is one of the best clips. Markwayne Mullin's clip is coming up, but this one right here, Pocahontas, Worthless Warren, getting abolished, literally abolished on live television is one of the sweetest moments. It was worth waiting 5 hours for this.
Now, Mr. Hegseth, you have written that after they retire, generals should be banned from working for the defense industry for 10 years. You and I agree on the corrosive effects of the revolving door between the Pentagon and defense contractors. It's something I would have liked to talk to you about if you'd come and been willing to visit with me. But the question I have for you on this is, will you put your money where your mouth is and agree that when you leave this job, you will not work for the defense industry for 10 years?
Senator, it's not even a question I've thought about because
it's not about it right now.
It's not one, my motivation for this job.
I understand that. I just need a yes or no here.
Come next.
Time is short. I just need a yes or no.
I would consult with the president about what the policy should be at the Defense Department.
In other words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. But you're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals. So you're saying sauce for the goose, but certainly not sauce for the gander?
I would want to see what the policy of the
Oh, I'll
president is.
bet you would.
Thank you, Senator Warren.
Worthless Warren, take that smack dab in your Pocahontas. Why does she sound like this? She's always, it's like, give this woman a Valium or something. I don't know. Like, maybe you could use a drink. I know, here's another thing too about the drink thing. This whole alcohol thing, this whole drunk. First of all of those allegations were proven false. They were all anonymous. It was all a smear campaign. But you know what? You guys remember a guy by the name of Winston Churchill? He saved the UK from Hitler. When everybody else, the prime minister before him, I forget his name, but he was a complete weakling, probably a radical leftist. Everybody was telling him, no, we need to surrender. We need to negotiate. He said, no, we're going to fight. And this guy drank morning, noon, and night. This whole alcohol thing is just preposterous. Why is it that she talks like this? Are you sure? We need to find somebody. Why does she talk like that? What is wrong with you? This is an academic. Her whole life she's been an academic. She got a law degree. And then she ran. I mean, she had a little bit of practice, but nothing. She hasn't had a real job. She cannot connect with real people. And somehow on a measly government salary, somehow she's worth tens of millions of dollars. I mean, it's galactic, my fellow Americans and global citizens. Galactic hypocrisy. Okay, this is the best clip. After all the BS, after all the garbage, and they all basically, just like all the hypocrites, because they don't have an original thought, they're all minions. They don't have any autonomous thinking whatsoever, no critical thinking. So they all parroted the same crap. He's a drunk, he cheated on, all BS. Watch Mark Wayne Mullen go to work.
Some advice from
I
our second in command.
Yeah, but I'm just making a point because there's a lot about qualifications. And I think it's so hypocritical of senators, especially on the other side of the aisle, be talking about his qualifications, not being able to lead the secretary or be the Secretary of Defense, and yet your qualifications aren't any better. You guys aren't any more qualified to be the senator than I'm qualified to be the senator, except we're lucky enough to be here. But let me read you what the qualifications of the Secretary of Defense is, because I Googled it and went through a lot of different sites, and really it's hard to see. But in general, the U.S. Secretary of Defense position is filled by a civilian. That's it. If you have served in the U.S. Army Forces and have been in the service for, you have to be retired for at least 7 years, and Congress can weigh that. And then there's questions that the senator from Massachusetts brought up about serving on a board inside the military industry, and yet your own secretary that you all voted for, Secretary of Austin, we had to vote on a waiver because he stepped off the board of Raytheon. But I guess that's okay because that's a Democrat Secretary of Defense. But we so quickly forget about that. And then Senator Kaine, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night? Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job? And don't tell me you haven't seen it, because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives? Did you ask them to step down? No. But it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because a man's made a mistake. And you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified? Give me a joke. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you guys hold yourself as this higher standard and you forget you got a big plank in your eye. We've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake. Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too. I have changed, but I'm not perfect. But I found somebody that thought I was perfect. And for whatever reason, you love Pete, and I don't know why. But just like our Lord and Savior forgave me, my wife's had to forgive me more than once too, and I'm sure you've had to forgive him too. And so thank you.
I mean, that is a mic drop moment for the ages. And I got to be honest, before this confirmation, I didn't know that much about Mark Wayne Mullen. I mean, I know a little bit about him, but man, the senator from Oklahoma, God bless you, sir. What a beautiful way of putting it. What a way of putting the Hippocrats on blast like that. I just absolutely love it. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Pete Hegseth deserves to be confirmed, if not for any other reason than this right here. That's my president. That's who I voted for. And if he says he is got his complete and total support, that's all the reason we need. That's why he won the popular vote, every single swing state. He won the mandate. He won the election. The November 5th mandate. The people have spoken. Enough said. End this political theater right now and confirm Pete Hegseth. Let me know in the comments. Give me just a capital Y if you agree. Give me a capital N if you disagree. I welcome all viewpoints. As long as you're exercising critical thought and you're not engaging in personal ad hominem attacks, all that stuff goes to spam. So attacks, links, don't send me any links. It all goes to spam. The comment section is meant for conversation. So let's have a conversation. I welcome all viewpoints. We live in the greatest country on earth and we won. We've saved free speech. So by all means, let me know what you think. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.